What's the saying? Vote early and vote often. Welcome to Pocono Mountains Podcast, Season 2, Episode 18. I'm Jim Hamill. It may only be August, but next month we arrive at the fall season, and the crisp, vibrant colors will start to appear all across the Poconos. Fall foliage will be on full display, and again this year, the Pocono Mountains is in the running for USA Today 10 Best, Reader's Choice, Best Destination for Fall Foliage. Voting is open now, and you can vote once per day for the Poconos, with the last day for votes September 12th. Each year we're in the running and turn up in the top 3 or so. This year could be the one. Go to poconomountains.com/vote for that link. We'll talk more about the upcoming fall foliage season and what makes it so special in just a moment. The Poconos is a year-round destination for millions, and with 2,400 square miles of mountains, forests, lakes, and rivers, with historic downtowns and iconic family resorts, it's the perfect getaway. You can always find out more on poconomountains.com or watch PTN, the Pocono Television Network, streaming live 24/7. Thanks for listening to Pocono Mountains Podcast. We'll have a new one each week highlighting lots of the fun things you can experience while you're visiting the Poconos. Subscribe to Pocono Mountains Podcast and leave a review and or comment on whatever platform you listen. Now back to the episode. On the upcoming Pocono Mountains Magazine for September, I sat down with a service forester with the Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, as well as a nature photographer right here in the Poconos, and the excursion manager for the Stourbridge line, to discuss everything fall foliage, from the images to the forecast to the many ways you can experience it all here in the Poconos. Enjoy. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Pocono Mountains Magazine. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Hamill, here on the front deck of the Lake Wallenpaupack Visitors Center overlooking Lake Wallenpaupack. It's a beautiful scene any time of year, but especially as we're approaching fall. And I've got with me 3 gentlemen who know a little bit about the fall season. To my right, your left, Jeff Seidel is a photographer based here in Hawley, and he has captured some exquisite scenes across the Pocono Mountains. And to my left, a southern Monroe County native, but a service forester with DCNR, Garrett Beers. And to his left, your far right, Mr. Tim Wright. He's the excursion manager for a Stourbridge line based in Honesdale that traverses the railroad from Honesdale through Hawley all the way to Lackawaxen, and has fall foliage excursions planned for this fall as well. So gentlemen, thank you again for joining me here on Pocono Mountains Magazine. We wanted to get right into what we're about to experience here as these leaves change color. Amazing views here throughout the majestic Poconos. Jeff, you've captured some of those, and what is it about capturing the vibrant fall foliage with all those contrasting colors every season?
It just draws you in, and you don't know where to stop, and you're always watching the traffic behind you and trying to find a place to pull over.
It just captures you, each and every day, whether it's morning, noon, or evening. Describe to me some of the best shots that you might have had. We were going over some of those recently, whether it's Lake Wallenpaupack or the river,
Well, it sneaks up on you, and like you said, second week in September it starts, and you go for a hike, maybe at Promised Land State Park, and you're strolling along the little creek that feeds the lake, and all of a sudden there's this branch there in bright red color that's peeking at you. It's coming. It's coming.
It is, and we are very fortunate here in the Poconos to have a pretty lengthy season, multiple weeks, especially from the northern part of the Poconos to the southern part, from Pike and Wayne counties through Monroe to Carbon. Garrett, you know a little bit about how the Forestry Service then looks to notify people of how things are going to pan out, whether it be peak season, whether it be the beginnings of the fall foliage turn. What can people expect to learn from the Forestry Service over time as we go into September through October and into November?
Okay. Well, every week we put out a fall foliage report throughout the counties. Each one of our forest districts puts one out across the state. That'd be 20 different forest districts. And I believe it usually starts around middle of September and then rolls all the way through peak leaf season, middle to end of part of October, and then usually ends around the beginning part of November, depending where you are in the state. Colors will start a lot higher up in the elevations, up in northern counties, and they'll work their way south as October fades out.
And each and every year, there's no easy formula to determine what year to year it'll look like. It's probably dependent on weather, saturation from Mother Nature, and everything else.
There's a lot of different factors that play into it. You definitely have, droughts, excess moisture can play a part into it. Have all those sorts of things. Early frost in the fall is a pretty good one to really change the leaf colors. But usually in around our area, northern Monroe, Central Pike, usually about the second to third week in October is usually peak leaf season.
All right, we'll put it on the calendar then. And as far as the calendar goes too, a lot of events coincide with the fall foliage season, including train excursions. Tim, talk to us a little bit about what the Stourbridge line tries to do for its riders each and every season. I know you've been on many of those fall foliage excursions. What's planned for this fall for the Stourbridge line?
Our plan for this fall is like our previous years, to give a nice relaxing rail excursion along the Lackawaxen River. And starting out with our Pocono Foliage Express, we start that at the end of September, and that goes all the way through October. And we've actually had people come over multiple times throughout the year to see the change of early leaf change in the end of September to the peak in about the second week there, and then almost at the end of the month as well. And we do our different event trains as well during October, like our pumpkin patch train. And just trying to do a whole family fun experience that can come up to the Poconos, check out the area, ride the train, and check out everything else we have up here.
There's a ton going on up here, from the small towns to, like Tim said, you've got fall season with the pumpkins picking there at your property there in White Mills area. And to think of how many people come here to experience this, but we live here, guys. Like, that's the really kind of unique thing, is that we get to experience this every day we wake up to every moment that we go to sleep. Jeff, how special is it to be here in the Poconos as you see the seasons shift?
I mean, it's incredible, really, to see the seasons come on you, and then you wonder where you're going to go to look at things,
right.
You know. So we're lucky we have the airport up here, really close to town, and I went up in a plane up there. I've only done it once, but it was fantastic, and
right.
Some of the images you're probably going to see in this segment is.
Right.
You're going to see what the view is, and it's just incredible. But you don't have to go up in a plane. There's many other places. There's high points that you could go visit, and you can see the vista with all the colors just erupting. And if you do it early in the morning, you get the nice mist coming off the water, and it's just gorgeous.
That top of Tanglewood was one that really kind of stood out, right? You
right.
can see right down to the lake here,
right.
And just that shifting change throughout the river banks here, 52 miles of shoreline, that offers a very wide palette, does it not?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and Garrett, what are some of your favorite spots here? I know you guys manage Delaware State Forest. That ride along 402 is spectacular in the fall season. Any other spots that you can kind of point people out to from the state parks or anything else?
I can't really speak for state parks, so to speak, because we're different, all DCNR, but we're managed a little bit differently, so I really don't do a lot over there in the state parks. Sure. So the best place you can usually find some really good fall color is around the swamps. We have tons of water around the area. Get some of the smaller back country swamps. You have a nice red maple around the outside of them. The blueberry mix in there as well. Or the first place that really start to change is always really nice. Reminds you a lot of Canada if you're familiar with going up there. You'd think you're honestly a couple states up north. It's pretty crazy how it actually looks different than most of our surrounding forest. Other place get really good views is you hike up to High Knob Fire Tower. That's in central Monroe or Central Pike County. Phenomenal views. You can see all the way into the Adirondacks, all the way down Delaware Water Gap, Blue Mountain. You can see really far, especially on a nice day that doesn't have a lot of humidity.
Yeah, and that's what we're known for here in the fall season. You know, the perfect temperatures, the perfect visual cues, and then you can sit back along the Lackawaxen River, Tim, and you can experience all that, and you can experience wildlife. A lot of bald eagles. What else do you see along the tour for the Pocono Foliage Express?
A lot of bald eagles. We like the fall a little bit better than the summer right now because the leaves are starting to come off the trees, so it's a little easier to see those eagles. And then deer, turkey, geese, ducks, rabbits, bears. We see a lot of different variety of wildlife on the train. Can't guarantee every single train out that we'll see an animal because, of them being wild animals, but usually we see a good variety every time we're out in the tracks.
And this year, again, like previous years, the Pocono Mountains are in the running for 10 best, USA Today 10 best destinations for fall foliage. And so people can go to PoconoMountains.com/vote to vote once per day for the Pocono Mountains. We've come in second and third in previous years, so this year we want to come in first because there's so many people, I think, who appreciate the value of like the natural surroundings that we have here. So again, head to poconomountains.com/vote to vote for the Poconos. Is there anything else you guys would like to leave us here talking about what the fall season means to you, especially from a visual standpoint, Jeff?
Well, I really love it when the seasons overlap. So in the last 15 years, probably, I've caught it where the snow came while the leaves were still in full color. So that's just a special thing when that happens.
Certainly is.
It's probably not good for the trees, but yeah, it's gorgeous.
Or for my wardrobe, having to break out that winter stuff just a little bit sooner than I thought.
Right.
Garrett, anything that you'd like to share, especially from a forester's standpoint? I know that you certainly think about the ecology and everything else that goes with it. It's nice to see this area, continue to thrive, I guess, from that standpoint, right?
Yeah, it's cool to see people actually come out and use the resources we have and we protect. We spend a lot of time and resources in the state forest system really managing it for public recreation, so it's nice to see people out there actually using the state forest. It's also a cool time in the fall to really see all the wildlife migrations, see how everyone's preparing for the winter time. Right. I'm a big waterfowl guy, so I really like to hear the migration. You'll be out there in the woods and you'll hear geese all day long flying down the Delaware River going south, so that's kind of cool. It kind of makes you feel like you're starting to winter time's coming. You got to start making a lot of preparations and button everything up before the snow comes.
That's a good reminder. And Tim, I know that you will be out there on the train this season. What do you want to leave people with, some lasting reminders of what they can really experience here in the Poconos for the fall season, especially?
Fall season, just the beautiful everything that we have here. If you trip up to come to visit the area and then hop on the train, do all our fun activities, maybe have some apple cider and donuts and just enjoy that favorite fall time.
You're speaking my language right there with those apple cider and donuts. Again, we're going to have at poconomountains.com/fall. There will be a link for the fall foliage forecast. Like Garrett said, it'll be updated through the Department of Conservation and Natural Resources and the foresters each and every week to let you know when peak fall foliage season is here in the Poconos throughout the different regions here. So head to poconomountains.com/fall for that fall foliage forecast this September and October up until November. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us here on Pocono Mountains Magazine. From the Lake Wallenpaupack Visitor Center, it's Jim Hamill, and we'll send it back to the show. Our thanks to Tim, Garrett, and Jeff for chatting about the many ways fall foliage makes this upcoming season so great. Remember to vote online. Go to poconomountains.com/vote to cast your vote once a day for the Poconos in the USA Today 10 Best Reader's Choice Best Destination for Fall Foliage.
For a warm welcome and refreshing wine, Three Hammers Winery really delivers.
The hops at 2nd District Brew Farm are grown right here.
At Insurrection Distillery, you'll get a big city feel in our small town setting. Your trail awaits you. Make it whatever you want. Wineries, breweries, or distilleries.
I've always wanted to craft a trail.
Of course you do. Visit PoconoBeverageTrail.com.
We're back. Thanks for listening to Pocono Mountains Podcast. I'm Jim Hamill. Last year, we hopped aboard the Stourbridge Line to chat about fall foliage. Here's a flashback about the train excursions and shopping in downtown Honesdale, as well as heading to great heights with Brianna Strunk in Pocono Helitours. Enjoy. Hey, it's Jim Hamill, and as summertime is winding down, fall is just around the corner, and so one of the best ways to view all that spectacular fall foliage is aboard the Stourbridge Line. Based here in Honesdale, headed to Hawley. Let's get all aboard for a trip on the Stourbridge Line.
All aboard!
From the second you step off the platform and onto the train cars, the Stourbridge Line takes you on an excursion unlike any other.
Now Honesdale is known as the birthplace of the American Railroad.
There is the friendly folks who help you enjoy the ride too, including conductor Tim Wright.
Oh, we're looking forward to all the people. We love seeing people coming out to check out the leaves, the beautiful northern Poconos we have here. And along with that, we have different families through generation to generation have come up here in October to go visit the Poconos and ride the train, so we love seeing all our passengers on board.
The Stourbridge Line leaves from downtown Honesdale and heads towards Hawley along the Lackawaxen River, giving everyone a great look at the amazing Pocono views through the window. And soon, Those leaves will be changing color for fall foliage train rides, and October is always peak season for the autumn colors around here.
We usually say historically Columbus Day weekend, the middle of October is peak for us. All depend, again, Mother Nature, all depends, but typically that middle of October is some of our busiest times because the leaves are usually just peak.
Passengers pay one price and get to sit back for round trips for everything from 1 hour to 3.5 hours long, catching glimpses of all kinds of wildlife.
Turkeys, duck, geese, bald eagles, bears, the occasional kayaker or fisherman out in the Lackawaxen River too.
And eagles' nests. Bald eagles have been spotted often along the Lackawaxen River, and many times they're just the icing on the cake.
They can check out all the shops, the businesses, everything we got going on. And for us, Columbus Day weekend kicks off our pumpkin patch train that we do as well. So that's one of our favorite trains. So we go down to our grove to get off the train. Kids will be able to pick out a pumpkin. We have some other activities, cider and donuts available for purchase. And that's just a great fall activity for families that we've added to our roster of train.
And when fall transitions to winter, the train keeps chugging along with Santa rides and a full schedule of more than 300 excursions each year, all year. Plus, if you ride the train, you can show your ticket at certain shops and restaurants in downtown Honesdale to get a discount. And there's lots of spots where you can find something for everyone. Take a look.
When you get off the train, come up to Gather. We have something for everybody. We have clothes, we have baby gifts, we have fun, quirky gifts. Hoping that we could find something for everybody on your wish list. But we're also located in Maud Alley. There's a couple other great stores as well there also. And once you get off the train, you can come up here and show your train ticket and get 10% off your purchase. We're open every day.
Well, we are a gift shop. We also carry housewares, tableware, flatware, men's items, children through teen, women's, mainly pillows, and we try to keep something for everybody. Most of our things are for the holidays, for birthdays, and for someone special that you love.
"36 years since 1985, and we are so excited to be here. We have so much unique merchandise. You can do anything from jewelry to clothing to humorous candles. A lot of people like the mosaic lamps, the chandeliers. And you can come in and buy. I have closeouts on Webkins, $5. Makes the kids happy while mom and dad are shopping around and doing their gift shopping, whether it's for fall birthdays or thinking ahead to Christmas.
Honesdale is a very friendly place that loves the arts, that loves music.
Oh, it's amazing what we have here, and it's not just shopping. We have little eateries, boutiques, breweries, wineries. I mean, Honesdale is the go-to town these days, and I'm so excited that we've grown and blossomed into what we have to offer now.
Here in the Pocono Mountains, there are plenty of beautiful sights and mountain ranges to look up at, but sometimes the best views come by looking down.
Here we go.
To feel most grounded, sometimes you have to go up. Way, way up. There's something calm and peaceful about the Poconos from 700 feet in the air, with unobstructed views of the lakes, trees, and endless mountain ranges.
What I think the unique part is you can drive around the Poconos and see the Poconos, but it's a whole different perspective in the air.
Pocono Helitours offers year-round sightseeing trips, perfect for special occasions like birthdays, anniversaries, or proposals. Taking off from the Pocono Mountains Municipal Airport, the company provides 4 fixed packages, but the route is really customizable.
A lot of people will come and they'll want to go over their house or their rental house, so we'll take them there. Wherever they want to go, we'll take them.
In less than an hour, we traveled from Mount Pocono to the beautiful Delaware Water Gap and back. No traffic or red lights in sight. We flew over neighborhoods, major roadways, and well-known places like Great Wolf Lodge and the Shawnee Inn and Golf Resort. This business venture all began in 2005 with the opening of a flight school called High Tech Helicopters. 10 years later, the public air tours were added, and they've taken off.
It was better use of the helicopter. Instead of not using it in between lessons, we started the tour business.
We'll be able to talk to each other on the headsets.
The Pocono Television Network crew felt at ease with pilots Chad and Ben. They explain everything that goes into prepping for a tour, detailed inspections of the aircraft, weather and weight checks, plus precise fuel calculations.
Absolutely, safety is key.
Although the helicopters hold 1 or 2 passengers, Pocono Helitours can accommodate groups. The best part? Flying with the doors off, making for an Instagram-worthy view.
There's been a lot of development over the years here, and you think that it's very crowded with people, housing, et cetera, et cetera. You'll see a whole different perspective when you go in the air. It's not. There's a lot of woods, a lot of trees, a lot of area.
Sometimes the best way to appreciate everyday life is by flying above it. For the Pocono Television Network, I'm Brianna Strunk.
Fall foliage in the Pocono Mountains and plenty of ways to experience, from zip lines to hiking, biking, kayaking, train rides, and even helitours. Thank you for listening to Pocono Mountains Podcast. Don't forget to vote for the Poconos in the Fall Foliage Contest and watch for the Fall Foliage Forecast starting in September. Please remember to subscribe anywhere podcasts are available. Come visit us in the Pocono Mountains. Plan your trip today.